Hey, what's up YouTube? Silver Dragons here, and in this video, I'm going to be talking about the dangers of purchasing gold bars in these plastic cards, these assay cards. Now, I did a video about 2 weeks ago talking about this particular gold bar, and in that video, we decided at the end that it was real, and I thought that would be the end of it. However, as it turns out, that's just the beginning. Thank you so much for watching my video. I do sincerely appreciate it. If you want to learn more about investing in precious metals, or if you just want to watch awesome videos about gold and silver, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Alright, so what's going on with these gold bars in these plastic cards? Well, they're extremely hard to test, and if you missed my previous video, this was the video where we tested this particular gold bar in many different ways, and at the end we came to the conclusion that yes, it was a real gold bar. Now, I was like, all right, slam dunk, winner, winner, chicken dinner. I did not get scammed. I have real gold. And then I read the comment section on that video. This comment here from Leonidas reads, "What you have is a thick coated tungsten bar. I bought one of these, did same tests, same results, tried to bend it, would not bend at all. Drilled on center, and sure enough, was tungsten. Specific gravity of tungsten and gold within 0.1%. Very difficult to distinguish magnetically and or dimensionally. Have to bend bar. If it bends easily, it's gold. If it's solid, it's tungsten. I'm willing to bet it's tungsten." So obviously this got me a little bit worried. I mean, I already knew that fakes of this bar existed in copper with a gold plating, but now I know they exist in tungsten with a gold plating, and that is a much better fake. Now, he could be making all of this up, or he could be telling the truth as well. So I asked him if he tested his bar using the Sigma Pro model, which is the nicer testing machine that I showed in my previous video, and this is what he responded with. "Yes, tested on Sigma Pro, even had bar XRF tested, got exact same results as you did. Bought off eBay, seller allowed my LCS to do a bend test. You must do bend test 2 directions, long end bend and diagonal bend. Only way to be sure is drill bar on center. We broke a drill bit trying to drill through. After trying bend test, I was able to return for full refund." So that's really what I'm trying to avoid. I don't want to damage this gold bar at all. And that's why I really hate these bars in these assay cards, because when you go to sell them, a lot of the time they're going to be like, all right, first thing we're going to do, cut it out, and then we're going to run some tests on it. We're going to drill it. We're going to, scrape off the corner and do a acid test or whatever. And it's like, okay, well, that just hurts the value of the bar so much, especially if it's a really collectible one like the one I have here. So, I mean, obviously, I know that real gold bars exist that look like this. I actually have a silver bar that has the same design, and I know that this bar is from a company called NTR Metals, and they actually are owned by another company called Elemental. So I know there are real ones out there, but I really don't want to go damaging this bar. I mean, if it is real, that just destroys the value, right? So I suppose I could try to bend it, but if I take it out of this plastic card, it's going to be much easier to bend. But if I leave it in, I mean, these are pretty thick plastic cards. It might be kind of difficult to get a good bend on there, but I will try it, and I don't know. We'll see if it bends at all. Hopefully it bends, but if it doesn't really give me any results, there is one more way we can test it, and I really did not want to resort to this, but let's first off see if we can bend this bar, okay? So I'm going to put a pretty good amount of pressure on it, and we'll see what happens. I guess I'll try it this way first. Now, I will say I was not able to easily bend the bar. I mean, I had to put quite a bit of pressure on it, but if you look over on the left, you can see clearly there is a slight bend. Now, of course, I left it in the plastic, so if I had taken it out of the plastic, I mean, could I have bent it much more? I don't know. And I also don't know if tungsten can bend slightly. I mean, would it just break? Or can you actually bend tungsten if it's a really thin piece? I mean, this is an extremely thin bar. So to me, this really isn't that conclusive, but it does help confirm, at least in my mind, that it's more likely gold because I could bend it, although it was only a slight bend. Now, the thing I really don't like about the bend test, and by the way, I've never done it before, is that to do it correctly, you probably have to take the bar out of the plastic, which is again what we're trying to avoid, especially if you have a thicker gold bar. You know, this one is super thin. So if you have a gold bar that's, 2 millimeters thick or even more than that, you probably got to take it out of the plastic. I'm a pretty strong dude, and I was putting about 50% of my effort into that, and I was only able to bend it slightly, and I still feel like I don't really have conclusive evidence that this is a real gold bar. So I decided to look around and find somewhere that I could test it, where they had one of those bigger desktop XRF machines. They're getting really hard to find because they do emit radiation and they cost, $40,000, $50,000. And I was able to find a place that had one. However, they required me to fill out an application and go through this whole process just to be able to use the machine. But thankfully, they knew who I was, and because of my YouTube channel, they were able to push my application right through, and I was able to go use their large desktop XRF machine. Here is a picture of the machine, and my bar is actually in the machine being tested when I took this photo, and the results came back 100% gold. AU stands for gold. So this is a real gold bar. Even the middle is gold. The whole thing's gold. It's real. It's 100% real.
Pirlo afinando, ya cobra, pelota por arriba. ¡Gol!
That's what I'm talking about. We got real gold, but here is the thing. If I take this down to a coin shop to sell it to them, they're probably going to be like, well, let's pull it out of the assay card and run a few tests. So even though I know it's real gold, it's still going to be a pain to try and sell down the road. So, I mean, these gold bars in these assay cards, I stand by what I said in the other video. You should probably just avoid them. Buy gold coins instead, because gold coins you can easily test. There's not really any destructive methods that you have to use to test a gold coin. But with these gold bars, a lot of the time, especially if they're not one of the popular ones, they're going to break it out of the card. It's going to hurt the value, and you're going to get less money for it. So one last thing I want to mention, it was really difficult to find a company that had one of the large desktop XRF machines, which can actually scan through even a thick gold plating to the center of your gold bar. And actually the company I went to, they requested that I don't share their information, so I'm not going to provide it. But a lot of people would not have access to a machine like that. And so, I didn't really feel super comfortable that my gold bar was real until I had it tested on that particular machine. So that's just another reason to stay away from these, because you want to know that your gold is real. And at the end of the day, if it's more difficult to test, you're just going to be less sure about it. Anyway, that's my video. Do you have any thoughts on gold bars in assay cards? Feel free to leave your comment down below in the comment section. I do want to say a massive thank you so much for watching my video, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons, out.